venue too far, any song at every bar, here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.
Hey y'all, we are with Mike Neumann on the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast. He's a local New Braunfels musician. You can find him almost anywhere. Okay. And he also hosts Dab and a Dive at Riley's every Wednesday?
Every second Thursday of the month.
Second Thursday, okay.
We used to do every Wednesday, like for 2 years, every Wednesday. That was a lot of Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, let's put it on, Thursday once a month. So every second Thursday of the month.
Okay, perfect. So if you haven't seen one of those, you need to go check it out. They're awesome. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about Down on a Dive?
Yeah, sure. It was just an idea I had about, I've always loved Roots and Branches, like the Ray Wiley Hubbard show. And that's kind of what the idea was. I wanted it to be a showcase for artists from everywhere, really. It wasn't just about like Texas or New Braunfels. But that's what it was geared towards, like kind of up and coming or people on the grind, like, people that really haven't made it yet, whatever that means. And we started it out, filming everything, and we'd have a different guest every week, but we'd film everything and interview the whole first hour, and then the next 2 hours we get up and play together. And it was great. And it's, hopefully one day we'll get some content or footage out of it, but we're still doing it. We're just doing more of a kind of a jam or a song swap these days. We haven't done the interview part or the Q&A stuff in a long time. But
we got to bring it back.
We got to. I mean, now we've got you guys doing y'all stuff at Riley's. We can do like a collab or something,
That would be fun.
Y'all come out and y'all do the interview part. Of the guests.
Wow, we're forming something.
Sure, that's it. That's how it works.
Collaboration, I love it.
Yes.
Y'all are probably better anyways, because I ask, strange questions. And
I like the questions that you asked, though, because we went a lot last year, last summer, I think. Mm-hmm. And I love the questions. You always had them written down, like, in a notebook and stuff, and it was very intentional, and they were really good, so.
That's what you have to do, I think. You don't have to do anything, right? But writing stuff down, when you actually read it, like when you see it visually, you realize you're like, that's a terrible question. Yeah. Or it's a great question. But that's why I would try to write different stuff every week. Because it's all about vibe, right? Like when you're hanging out, and if you have a guest up there this is what's crazy to me. Like there's tons of musicians, they have no problem getting on stage and playing in front of people. But when it comes to talking on camera or just being interviewed, they're like, no, I don't want to,
They're like different.
So you have to be able to like, read the room with that and find out how to make the vibe very like relaxed and like, hey, let's just shoot the shit. Let's just talk about whatever,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're still learning that. And I know we've asked you a bunch of questions too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a learning process. And I think it's great for not only, like you kind of said, upcoming musicians, whatever that means. I like that.
Yeah.
But also just New Braunfels. I think it's cool to, I personally love, and I've said this on the podcast before, I love hearing everybody's stories, and I feel like that's why we started this whole podcast.
Right.
Because every story is different. I love learning how musicians write and just how it's come to fruition.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I feel like obviously everybody has a story. That's who they are today.
No doubt.
It's super cool.
That's what people really want. I mean, at least when I started getting into music, just like a little kid, 5th, 6th grade, it was all about learning about these bands and learning the backstory and like learning fun facts so that when people talk to me about this band, I'd be like, oh, did you know this guy did this in 1960, And that's what's interesting. And that's why the whole podcast or interview aspect is cool, because it's like, where's all this coming from? Who are you?
Humanizes them.
Yeah. And it's interesting. So.
So take us back to your Velvet Saddle days and how that's transitioned to where you're at now.
Well, funny you said, the last time I played here, Velvet Saddles, we played here. And that was probably the last show we ever played.
No way.
Yeah, it's really serious. That was the last time we played was Austin Rodeo. Not last year, but the year before.
Okay. And just for everyone at home listening, we're at the DKC Cookers
Yes.
tent at the Austin Rodeo Cook-Off right now.
Correct.
And so that's cool that like 2 years later now you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, I'm just here, Well, the 2 years before that too, I was here. I played acoustic shows before that. But no, the Velvet Saddles was just a great band that a buddy of ours, Jimmy, and Javi and DW and our buddy Eric, they had started kind of an Austin central band. I don't know where everybody lives now, but it was awesome. It was like, I call it cocaine country music. I mean, that's really what it is. It's like freaking just party music, but like with like country accents.
Yeah.
Like Paul Cawthon, but a little more honky tonk.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, and we got to play a lot of big stages and play, sell out Continental Club, Green Hall, House Pasture with the Bellamy Brothers. We did some cool shit. Can I cuss on this, by the way?
Absolutely. Everybody's asked that, which
It's a little late now. But it just fizzled out, just like a lot of, I think, up and coming or new bands. And like we had a lot of we had a lot of steam, and our lead singer Jimmy, he moved to California, and our buddy Eric, he moved on, but we all stay in contact, and we all still are good friends, and that's the important part of any of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I know
If that answers your question.
Yes, that 100% does. Yes. And you play a lot in New Braunfels now, like acoustic and full band. I feel like every week I see that you're posting that you're playing at different venues and everything. So you're keeping busy. Where are some of your favorite places to play, would you say?
Riley's is always my home favorite place.
Had to plug,
I guess.
Reed.
Well, also it's like you love hanging out there too.
Yeah.
Like we are all hanging out there as well.
Right.
So.
But honestly, like there's some other places I've really enjoyed playing. Like Freiheit, the stage at Freiheit is really awesome to play on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good vibe there.
That Sunday Fun Day we all had there a couple weeks ago was fun.
Very much.
Yeah.
And of course, Green Hall is always special and always a good time. I think one of my favorite places ever, though, was Continental Club in Austin. When you get to play that stage, sold out, it's just something else. It's like, that's the quintessential, like, Texas, Austin scene right there. That's like Elvis played in that building,
I did not know that, and we were there.
Stevie Ray Vaughan's played in everybody that you can think of has been there. And but I don't know, my favorite venue to play in, is that the question, right?
Well, just like some of your favorites that you play at regularly.
That would be some of those, but I think Riley's has always been good to me, and we were there last night, so
nice. Missed you there. I probably left right before you got there.
Manzi Lowry was playing Thursday night, and
What I love that you also do with your acoustic sets is you bring on like someone to swap with a lot.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy doing that? What about that do you enjoy doing the most? Song swapping.
Well, I think this came from doing Down in a Dive. I always like having just different stuff happening. Like I'll play with other guys, for 3 or 4 months. Like we'll swap B&M songs and we'll have a little run. But Down in a Dive is cool. It's like a different guest every week. So song swapping like that's what is kind of interesting about that. If you're doing it with people that you don't really play with ever, it's kind of like today I was talking about, this is the first time we ever played. It's like going on a date. You don't know if it's going to like just be terrible or if it's going to go great,
It's a very public date for sure.
And it's a very public date, right?
That's a great analogy.
But you just shoot from the hip, man. But something magical happens most of the time, and you really get this organic thing that happens. And it's just funner to play with people anyways, I play 3-hour sets all the time, but even as a fan or as a listener, I don't want to hear the same guy play for 3 hours. I don't. But if you do 2 people or 3, right on. I'd listen to John Prine for 3 hours or Guy Clark, right? But when it comes to like local stuff, and that's what people don't realize, like we have to fill 3-hour sets. And that's a lot of music, you got to pick what covers you want to do, what covers you're not burned out on, how many originals. Even if you had 3 hours of originals, same thing. Nobody wants to hear you for 3 hours, you know?
So how do you form those sets? Like, how do you know what kind of songs to play? Like, do you have a set list, or do you have a feeling? Do you just play what you play?
He knows this. Like, I don't have a set list. I just have enough in my head, and I have like cycles. Like, there's songs that I'll come back to, and then I won't play them for 6 months, and then there's ones that I've played since day one, you know. But it's all about reading the room, feeling the vibe. Like, if I feel comfortable and I'm around the people I want to be around, I'll play that style of music. If I'm somewhere like a bar, like, let's say, like more family oriented, like Treehouse or something like that, you know, you change your whole thing, and you play songs that you know will kind of get you through the gig and give them what they want, and get in, get out. But it's not as intimate as you getting to just shoot from the hip, you vibe it out, play what you want to play, and, you know, just be real, be true about it.
Yeah, I love that, because then it makes like every show different.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of all the New Braunfels venues you mentioned, what does the New Braunfels music scene mean to you, and how has it impacted your career?
What does it mean to me? I think it means I've met a lot of new friends and a lot of great like relationships with people through New Braunfels. I think the New Braunfels scene to me is just, it's important because it's in the beginning stages. There's like a resurgence of new blood and new music coming out. Like, I hear this term all the time, like New Braunfels is the new Austin for music. I hear that. I don't know if that's true, or like, how can anybody decide that? But I see what they're saying with that, you know? It's a place where, especially if you live there, it's really hard to like get in and meet everybody, because there's so many freaking people playing right now.
Right.
I'm still meeting people that are like, yeah, I play around here all the time. I'm like, I've never seen you, ever. But no disrespect to them, but, you know, it's like,
there's so many new people coming.
There's just this waves and waves.
Yeah.
But it's a special place. People feel like, I feel very calm in New Braunfels. I came like in San Antonio, it's bigger city, but there's no music scene there. It's nothing like that. And New Braunfels is great. Like, you know, when you guys had the green light, you know, where else can you go like that, where you're just on the side of the river, the Guadalupe River, and green halls in the background, and you're just like playing out into the whatever, you know?
That's like all of New Braunfels' best features, like kind of piled into one right there. The music, the bar scene, the river.
Exactly.
Being in green and everything too. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and I like that you said that there's so many artists out there, and I think it just comes back to us creating here. When we've talked about, you know, how often we're going to put out this podcast and how long, I'm like, we could literally go years and only interview New Braunfels musicians, because there's so many musicians in New Braunfels.
It's insane.
And they're popping up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Madison and I, we want to throw this in here. We love your style, like your physical, like clothes style and everything. So what kind of inspires you with your looks and everything, and how does that translate into like your music that you play and everything too?
I don't know. I think it's just how I grew up, maybe, you know. I was a little skateboarder, dirt rat kid, but my dad was a straight redneck, you know, and it's a mixture of just rock and roll, country. It's Texas, you know. It's like all that's the blues, it's country, it's all these things that come together. And all of my favorite bands and like dudes that I really like, ZZ Top, you know, why they were so special is because of the way they looked. It wasn't just how good they were and how good they sounded. It was this idea. It was like the full package. Like, when you see them, you're entertained by every aspect of the thing, the way they're moving, their beards, you know, their clothes. And why I love classic country so much, why these guys all wear like nudie suits, and I don't know. I just try to be me. That's all I can say, you know? And
I think also just seeing you out in town a lot too, like that still translates into like when we just see you out, like hanging out and everything. Yeah. So it is, for people that listen to your music and are like fans of it, it's like a whole entire package kind of thing.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what I look for in a band or any music. I want to see everything. I want there to be showmanship, and it's really awesome when you see somebody like that that's just taking the extra step to give you entertainment all the way through, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
I love it.
Well, you just played at DKC Cooker's Tent.
I did.
Shout out again. And Michael.
We got a little
yes, Michael Gonzalez. Let's bring him in, huh?
special guest.
Great drum.
Hey, Mikey G, get in here.
His debut on the drums for, what was it, the first time in a year on stage?
Yes.
A year and 3 months.
And we got the drumsticks in the pocket still. I love it.
I asked him if he was going to give you a pair of drumsticks, and he was like, just waiting for the right moment.
Oh my gosh.
He heard that. Hey, you know, it was funny because JJ actually gave me an idea because we have these little mics that we would do in the reels. Yeah. He was like, you should attach them to the end of the drumstick and like go like this.
Oh, like
that'd be funny. So maybe we can get together after this and figure that out.
Yeah, I definitely do that. Make that work.
So, Michael, tell us about your drumming career and how it got started, what you've been up to the past couple years. Was it?
The funny thing is that when I met Mike, it was a big difference. I played with a couple country bands for fun, but they're more like rock and roll. Mm-hmm. He's more of like the honky tonk, like actual countryside, which was a good experience for me to transition into. It was definitely a little bit of a challenge because I played punk music my whole life and metal. Yeah. So that's what I did throughout all high school and everything like that. I played in a lot of punk bands, got to open for a lot of famous bands. It was a lot of fun, but it's definitely a lot faster, heavier pace. So having to learn how to pull back and control my timing and everything like that was a little bit of a challenge, but I felt like it made me a better musician. And it also felt really nice today was, we didn't know how it was going to go. Like he said, it was like a first date. And we didn't get too much time to practice, but it went incredibly well. Yeah. I'm very happy for the opportunity to play with Mike. It meant a lot to me.
Thanks.
And I'm very happy to be here for sure.
Yeah. And you've joined him on stage at Riley's a couple of times, Cajon. But yeah, that's awesome. Y'all sounded great today. Yeah. For sure.
When we met Mike, it was
at Billy's Ice House.
I was at the Cuddy Jinks show the day before. Mm-hmm. And I think I went to the Parker McCullum show.
Yeah, me and Jason.
And so they rolled into Billy's, and they were like, "You're a musician," just like every time you're like, "Yeah, you got it, you nailed it." And so they were like, "Well," Jason said, "Well, I play guitar," and Mike said, "I play drums." I said, "Well, let's go back to your house and play right now." They were like, "Bro," I was like, "Yeah, let's go, dude. That's how we do it." So that's kind of how we met, and I've just had Mike up for a few times on Cajon. And this is the first time we've played with you playing the drums.
First time in the live drum kit.
And but he's coming right along, and
yes, sir. The Cajon definitely helped get a feel for him, so that we're not going full force into it. Because the first time we actually practiced, and he had to show at Poorhouse, and I really wanted to play it, but we both didn't feel comfortable, and we're like, so let's not push into that quick. Yeah. So we did a Cajon thing for a little bit. And then he brought up this show, so we just started practicing.
But see, this is what I learned. The Cajon thing is like kind of whack.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, don't feel bad. I was like, you're a drummer, and this is my old roommate Henry. My old roommate Henry. He is crazy, dude. But he was like, I'm a freaking drummer, man. I don't play the Cajon. I'm not ever gonna play the Cajon. And now I'm like, yeah, you're right, dude. Because like Mike's a great freaking drummer. He can do a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And when it's like giving me, a mandolin, or a ukulele. Like, here you go, Mike. Here's your guitar. And I was like, this
almost feels like be green over.
What's going on?
You suck.
Okay, I love that. Like, y'all told your story. Yeah. I love that y'all told the story of how y'all met, because I've always wondered, like, I'm going to ask each of y'all. I want each of y'all to answer this question. Like, what do you look for? Like, what kind of feeling, or what do you look for that you want to play in a band? Like for Mike, like, what are you looking for as, the people that are playing behind you, but also, like, what are you looking for, like, in a front man that you want to play for?
You go first.
Good question.
I like it when everyone contributes with each other. It's almost like complimenting each other. So, like, we each get our own little moment, and we help each other out on stage, and we just compliment each other. And, like, he can be soloing, and I stay quiet or something like that, and we just, like, we feel each other. We'll just feel the vibe and just go with it. And then sometimes just like play organic stuff. Like today we pulled a lot of shit out of our ass, but yeah, we felt it and it felt good. Even like towards the end of the last song we did, I actually interpreted a little bit of metal into it, and I put double pedal towards the end, and I just
here's all.
I wanted to let it out.
Well, when you did, I noticed.
I don't know if you saw it. I started laughing, like, and I wasn't laughing because I was just like, it made me like blush. I was like, oh.
When you did, I noticed a lot of heads like pop up and stuff too. So people were like, "Oh, damn, that's some."
This is why when we first, I was like, this is gonna be cool. Mike's, we're gonna add a little zest to this because Mike plays very loud and heavy and fast. And this is nothing new. Like a lot of the punk guys end up going country. I've seen this in the music scene. And I'll let you finish your question about what you're looking for in a front man or a band, but that's what was important, was Mike just being a team player, and that's all you want in a band is everybody show up, because like the front man or whatever you want to call it, like it's my name that's out there. I'm the one getting the booking the shows, getting the gigs, and it's my name, but it means nothing if I don't have the guys behind me. Too, so it's just like we were talking about business last night, like they need me, I need them, and that's like how it should be. Like we need each other, man, and I think like just have fun. Don't take it so fucking serious.
So we talked about earlier, we'll just have fun with it.
People that have the most fun in music are the ones that don't take it so serious.
That's where the love comes into it. What I look for is like consistency and love. Like we're not fucking around. You actually are on the same page and want to do something. And I see that in Mike every day because he puts a lot of effort into playing, whether it's by himself or with other people. But he definitely is music all day for sure. For sure. That's what I love for sure, definitely.
Thank you,
man. And I loved like watching y'all play today. Like you were smiling while you were on the drums too. Like not only when we had the camera out, but just like in general. And so it's fun to see, like as a person in the audience, you're like, okay, I know this person's having a great time, like entertaining us, and it like bleeds into the audience as well. So
that was one of
contagious.
It's one of the best feelings in the world to play it live and just have a good time. And I was deprived of that for like about a year. I took a break, and then I felt it again today for the first time in a while, and I just felt happy again.
Like I can't get over it now. No, get back into it,
and we can see it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and it's only the best is yet to come. I mean,
was a good start
right now. You are talking about Velvet, like the only band member I have right now is like this dude right now. So we're starting all over again, and there's something cool with that because we're locked in. We know what we're going to do, and now we can kind of navigate and find out where we want to take the sound, what we want to do with it.
Well, that's exciting. Speaking of that, do you have any upcoming shows that you want to?
Yeah, well, tomorrow here.
Oh yeah,
at 12
they're
o'clock.
Playing again, so come out tomorrow.
I will post this tomorrow.
People that
know if you were not.
Yeah, this is not live, but tomorrow and then Sunday will be a Fry Height. Me and Robert playing a Fry Height, and that's it for the rest of the weekend.
Well, do you want to plug yourself so they can follow along your Instagram handles and all that stuff?
Yeah, just Mike Neumann Music, Neumann, not N-E-W.
Spell it right. Don't follow some other guy.
But just find me on there and, get on there. You guys know, I always post my shows. I always make a poster or something.
You're very good about that, by the way.
He is. He does it on iPhone too.
You used to make a lot of posters for the shows that you play at Greenlight, and I'd be like, Mike, can you please make them because they look so good, and it's so like attuned to who you are, and it's not like the venue just like kind of dropping and pasting your picture into.
I think that's like important, and that's something you guys should like with Twin Rivers. Just do y'all and be y'all style, and do everything you can till you can't do it. Do everything yourself until you can't.
True. We're trying.
And y'all are doing a great job. I love everything you are doing.
I'm very proud of y'all.
Thank you. That's really nice.
It really is nice to hear, honestly.
So shout out to Twin Rivers, and
I got enough of that.
Repping.
Well, thank you all so much for sitting down and talking to us. Do you want to plug yourself, Michael?
It's Mike Gonzalez. I don't have any.
That's okay.
And if you need your pool plastered, he owns a pool plastering company.
Well, there you go. Any pools?
Pool plastering.
It's about to be summer. I'm sure there's a bunch of people.
Yep.
This is the owner and proprietor of the whole thing. This is the main man.
Oh, wow. I'm just learning so much. All right.
He's a drummer and pool man.
We want to have y'all
right.
sign the banner.
Yeah, let's sign the banner.
You can sign it wherever. Front and
Here you go, Mike.
center. You can do it.
Yeah, we had to.
No, not right there.
You can't?
I'm just kidding.
Half of it's folded up right now because we had to,
We had to
fit
make
into
it
the
work.
space.
Cool. I don't know. I just put it here, Newman, right?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Perfect.
In for Newman. Love it.
All right.
Thanks y'all so
Amazing.
much. Thanks for
Thank y'all, Madison, Reed. It's been great. Thank you.
Yes.
fun at the cook-off.
No venue too far, any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers music scene.